everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Table Throw Show, a weekly Dungeons and Dragons experience extravaganza, multimedia stuff. Right. So today, we are joined by the wonderful and amazing players. We've got Gina playing Chim, Rosie playing
Hi.
Pav.
Hey!
I wasn't expecting that. Awesome. Chris playing Tia.
Hello.
There you go. And Emily playing Athena.
Hello.
We are missing Jacob, which is a shame. But other than that, we should be good. So, we'll start off with a recap as we always do. Last session, guys. Things happened.
Oh boy.
Last session, the odd group of adventurers from the continent of Enidane left the markets of the bazaar, and after getting quite favourable compensation for an accident involving Uragath and a polymorph wand, the party decided to head to the location described to them by Tara, Athena's mentor, also known as the Blue Candle. It led them to a terraced alleyway, which is quite run down. It's in the old district, this kind of odd, strange place in this quite modern, magical city. And behind this kind of old, run-down temple is the location of it. It's almost like an alleyway and a terrace house, basically, a set of terrace houses. The temple is to the god of the sun, Helios. So upon their arrival, they found that most of the windows and doors of the terrace were blocked. The windows were boarded. And there was kind of one door which stood out. I mean, the air was thick, it's musty and warm, but this one door, it seems it's got peeling red paint on it, basically. It looks very old. And the party investigated it. They knocked on it, and I believe Uragath also tried to knock on it as well. And they didn't manage to actually, Uragath being Jacob's character, they didn't manage to get any reply. So you guys decided to wait it out. And this would lead you guys to go into the actual temple itself. It's just a place to sit. There's some stone pews, and yeah, you guys don't have much time. Bokar placed a bounty upon you. Will place a bounty upon you if you don't complete your task in the next few days. Before you kind of all rested, Tia cast sleep on herself. Before you all decided to rest, Parva Kel used Detect Good and Evil and sensed that there was strong evil energy from behind the temple in this kind of alleyway terrace. So Pav, Chim, and Athena went to investigate this, and Athena was not the source, which is a good thing, and neither was Tia, which is also a good thing. So they basically went out to the front door, and before they could really do anything, the locks on the front door began to be slowly taken off from the other side, like chain locks and such. And the party are currently standing outside of this door the party, Athena, Chim, and Pav, are currently standing outside of this door while all the locks are being undone.
Wait, it's not even Uragath with us.
I don't think you got Uragath to go with you.
I thought we did.
We'll
Am I
say
wrong?
he followed. It's fine.
Cool.
We'll say he followed since his player isn't here, and Jacob probably would have wanted to go with you. So.
Chill.
Okay. So you guys are all currently standing outside of this door. The locks are being undone. It sounds like there's sliding of chains.
I think I panic knocked or something.
Yes,
I knocked
yes,
on the
you
door.
did. And at this point, the kind of unlocking as soon as you knocked got slower because that happened. I remember now.
Cool.
That wasn't written down. So, as these begin to keep being unlocked and unlocked, the door, for a moment, rattles. The handle is pressed down, and the door opens. And the first thing you guys see is what looks like a very pale, you want to say possibly human, but maybe it's hard to tell. He doesn't seem to have any defining racial features. He opens the door. It's this very, very pale man, kind of wearing a worn tunic. He doesn't really look like a man, possibly younger, maybe a teenager rather than a man. He's got these kind of, again, worn tunic, these worn trousers. They are short-sleeved, obviously, because of the intense weather. And the area inside there is musty, dark, and dusty. As he opens the door, you can see into the room behind him a little bit. He's standing there at the door. He's got this long brown hair, which looks almost like quite... I don't know how to explain it. It looks like it's got a texture of like hay. Like it's completely dried, basically. And as he opens the door to see you greeting, he seems shocked and awaiting response from the party.
Hello! Lovely to meet you, sir. Hope we aren't bothering you. We just need just a second of your time, perhaps a minute even.
I have a second of time I can give to you.
Thank you. Well, and before I continue, I kind of turn around. And when I turn around, I've got very wide, panicked eyes. And just say, Urga, would you mind sending Mordio to perhaps wake up Tia? Ace.
Urgath kind of pulls like a little seed from his pocket, feeds it to Mordio, and Mordio flies off towards the temple.
Smile back on, turns around. Well, we are in search of an item, and unfortunately we haven't been able to find many leads of this, but by word of the gods, we have been sent in your direction, and hope you might be able to give us some information on this.
By the way, Pav, you have Detect Good and Evil on, don't you?
Yeah.
The evil is coming from him.
Ruh-roh.
Cool.
I do not know of...
Now I know it's coming from him.
It's...
Protection thing is back on Chim. Now I know it's definitely... I know I've detected the good and evil. It's here. It's back on the... can't remember what it was. The protection spell I had that gave him advantage.
Yeah.
Protection from good and evil.
There you go. Good and evil everything.
Yes. Well, specifically fiendish.
Okay.
Whatever this guy is, protection from that.
Alright, so it was
So it was
fiendish.
fiendish last time?
Yeah. It was fiendish. It's still fiendish energy. Kind of this demon, devilish feeling to him, which is really off-putting, and he doesn't seem... Again, he seems quite strange. There's no specific, like, racial features that he has. He doesn't have the pointy ears of an elf, or even the dulled ones of a half-elf. They're kind of human. But his structure is almost elven. His bone structure seems almost tiefling-like. It's very strange. So, as kind of you cast this on Chim, he doesn't seem to mind, actually. My father would know more of artifacts if you seek them. He is sleeping, however I could awake him for you if you would like.
That would be wonderful. We wouldn't want to irritate him, though, or anything.
He would not be irritated by guests, I assure you. Would you like a drink and come in, maybe?
Absolutely. Is it okay if a friend comes? She might be a little bit late. Slept in is all.
That is fine, as long as one of you accompanies him. I would not wish father to see the light.
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Guys,
I'll probably knock on the door.
I'll knock. It's fine.
Thank you.
Dinner or anything.
He kind of walks back in, and you see that from the doorway entrance, there's an immediate staircase going up, basically. And to the left, there's an open door, which leads into what looks like a living area. Again, it's quite dusty, but there is furniture in here. There's a bookshelf with different tomes on it, and he kind of leads you guys into this, what looks more like a living room. There's a table in the center, a round table, about 3 foot in diameter. I'm getting that word right. Yeah, 3 foot in diameter. It's quite small to the ground, and there are 2 kind of almost sofa chairs, if you would, which seem to be there. There's very little light in here. I believe that everyone has low light vision. Trying to think, but if you don't, basically you're struggling to see. Yeah, are we good? Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, he kind of points you towards the chairs. before he begins to walk he brings you towards the chairs before he walks over to the stairs and kind of looks through the door. 1 minute, I will awake my father for all of you. You hear him go up the stairs, and you guys are now in this room kind of together. You don't have to sit down if you don't want to.
This went a lot better than I expected. I was expecting angry. Look, I can work with kind of bored. I sit down. I don't know if the chair's going to kill me, but I'll sit down.
I'm very wary. Just stood looking around at everything.
Okay. Make a investigation. Wait, are you just looking at things, or are you like looking through things, Athena?
I'm just glancing around, seeing if there's anything that catches my eye, which could be dangerous or anything.
Make a perception check, and Chim, you sit down, and the chair is definitely aged, but it's not uncomfortable. It's just a bit. It's well worn, we'll say. It's soft though, soft enough.
So it's gonna be.
I approve.
4 and 10. That's 14.
Okie dokie.
Add 10?
Yeah. Great.
Rogues are literally disgusting.
Literally.
Rogues are brilliant.
Oh,
but not as bad as bards.
Speaking of which, Chris, Tia has a bird currently pecking the top of their forehead.
Waves at it, still asleep.
It is very persistent.
Probably I wake up.
Okay. You see it's Mordio, and Mordio seems to be nodding his head towards the alleyway.
I glare at it. What? What?
It tilts its head a little bit.
I tilt my head.
It tilts it the other way.
I do the same.
Mordio flies over towards like the doorway and then does a 180-degree head turn.
Oh, fine. I follow.
Okie dokie. So Mordio's going to lead you to the door. This will take about possibly a minute at most. So you guys in the kind of place. Athena with a 14, as you're kind of looking around this room, it seems very old. It's definitely aged. You don't know. This isn't like a modern house per se. Like in Enadane, in general, the houses are different, but this definitely seems it's got a little bit of like an elderly person's house. There's something different about it. It's just kept in a way which is more matured than you're used to seeing, I guess, I suppose. Like, it doesn't seem like it's well lived in. It seems like it's very much void of much human life and movement. So as you're kind of looking around, you don't see anything dangerous, though.
There's so little.
Okay.
Alright. So... Oh, go on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay alert and wary of everything.
Okie dokie. So you guys hear footsteps back down the stairs, coming down. You're at the door at this point, Tia. Would you like to knock or not?
I knock.
Okay.
And I'm swearing to myself like, I thought we were going to sleep. Ugh.
You guys hear a knock on the door. The footsteps on the stairs stop, and then a second set of footsteps begins to go down these very squeaky, kind of wooden, creaky stairs. The door is opened, and you see the man described before, and you also see an older gentleman. He looks gnomish, kind of this really kind of worn grey hair, possibly even described as white. A very kind of rough stubble, and across his arms are bandages.
Hello. Is there an half-orc in here? He lost his owl.
Are you the friend they spoke of?
Oh. Yes, I suppose so.
Then you can come and return
Thank
his
you.
owl. He kind of steps out of your way very politely, opens the door a little more so it's easier for you to go through.
I step in.
Alright.
Do I sense anything from any of them?
You can make an Arcana check if you'd like.
Sure. 12 total.
There is a faint hint of some magic, and you swear you've felt this kind of magic before, but you're not sure where you felt it.
Ooh, interesting. I'm intrigued.
All right. So you see, as he kind of guides you in, there is a door immediately to your left, which is open, and you see Chim, nearly the top of Chim's head, kind of sitting on this very sunken couch. Looks to you for a second.
Yeah, I walk into that room.
Okay. You are joined by your sorcerer, everybody.
Tia! These
What part about what part about going to sleep was unclear?
magic happened.
I know. I pointed at myself. I fell asleep. I assumed that all of us had a deal. What's up?
More magic happened. These kind sirs, well, one of them have agreed to perhaps help us find an item.
Okay.
Speaks.
Yeah. Well.
What can we call you people?
If you wouldn't mind, my name is Palon, and my father
Palon.
here is called Solus.
Palon and Solus. Lovely to meet you.
It is very nice
How
to meet
would
you.
you? How would you perhaps spell those things for one who might be taking notes?
You would spell them like I'm copying and pasting them right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There's one, and the other one is coming shortly. My father's name, well, you may recognize the names. I'm not sure if you're from here. You look like you're from the far continents. May I ask where you're from?
Correct.
Excuse me.
The Horde. Unless,
We are.
you probably could figure. So
Yeah.
You are correct. We are from north, across the sea.
I
Ding
see
journey.
that you're from Enidane, then. The continent of Enidane, yes?
Yeah.
yes.
Sure.
I think, is that the big one?
Well,
Yeah,
yes,
that's the one that
where
you
we
guys
were.
are on, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
I was more specific. I said I came from the Horde, which I figured they probably knew where it was.
Yeah.
So,
He seemed like he recognized it when you
Yeah.
said it. Be wary, my father does not speak often, but I can speak for him. Anyway, the
Help you can give would be
elderly
one.
kind of gnomish man. I would like to say he's calling him his father. This man is a gnome, like the older figure with the bandages. The boy is a definite. Again, you can't tell. It's very strange.
is the gnome the one with the bandages?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
that is Solus,
How
the
old?
father.
Boy look.
Sorry.
How old does the boy look?
If you were going to guess from like a human perspective, he looks maybe 18, 19.
Okay.
But in elven years, that could be drastically different. So you're not too sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Chill.
So, this boy is kind of now, again, very pale, quite skinny. This elderly man walking down, he's got sun-kissed skin, and he kind of walks into the door and observes all of you. Looks for a second at Athena, looks for a second at Tia, and walks into the room. My father, our family, rather, we used to own the church you see out front, the temple to Helios, the god of the sun.
Oh, so you are also sun worshippers then?
Yes, we are. Well, my father was. I was raised. I've not really seen it. He's protecting me, he says. My father. The old man now is kind of walking over to the table. He's kind of just walking to the center of the room where this table is. If you do not mind, I will fetch you some drinks. Is there anything you would like? Teas, maybe?
Ooh, milky tea.
That I can do. Would anyone else like any refreshments of any kind?
Can I make an insight check on this guy?
Yep, go ahead.
He is a little bit too hospitable for me to not be suspicious. But I have a +1, so a 10 total.
Kind of looking at him, he gives very little away. There's very little shift in his emotional state. He seems almost like everything he's saying is not necessarily thought about, he just speaks it. And as he kind of asks for refreshments, he's almost got this... It's not a smile in any sense of it. It's just a welcoming kind of look.
Yeah. And I can't tell what sort of species he is either, so...
No idea. It's almost like a mixture of everything. Again, the tiefling-like bone structure, the human kind of ears. It's quite strange.
Did you say that he was really pale, but the old man was very sun-kissed and tanned?
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting.
Noted.
I will fetch your refreshments. My father may speak. He will know of the artifact you seek. Now that I mention it, Father, they're looking for, I believe, one of the fragments that you spoke of with me before.
Yes.
He kind of begins to walk away into the kitchen, holding, for a second, he puts his hand where, if you imagine, on his right side, just under his ribcage, where his stomach is, I guess. This is a boy, I mean, as he's walking away. And walks through into what looks like a kitchen, where he starts to make a flame to boil some water. The old man.
Can I go over and just help him with the fire starting?
Yes, you can if you like.
Yeah, because that'll just, conjure up a fire. That won't be hard, so...
Okie dokie. So, you walk over and start doing that. Do you want to stay there and watch him make it, or do you want to just start the fire and then kind of leave? It's up to you.
Can I overhear the other room from there?
Yes, definitely. It's like the kitchen and that room are connected by a door, basically.
Then I'll just hang out over there.
Alright. So you kind of start a fire. He looks to you for a second. Thank you.
Welcome.
And he begins to make what looks like a normal tea. Herbal tea. So.
Yeah.
Everyone in the room, this old man in the center, or this kind of rounded table, begins to look at all of you individually. First, he looks at Pav, the largest figure. He then looks at Chim, who is currently in a chair. Uragath is observed from head to toe. And Athena is stared at for about 5 seconds before he kind of turns his head back to the table, this rounded table. He lets out an exhale. You people. You search for the staff, yes?
Yes.
What is it you seek with the staff?
These folks have come into a bit of trouble with a very powerful man. And said powerful man to some sort of deal in return for no imprisonment for this stuff.
Is this man a man who brings change to the world? Is this man a man who is good, or is he evil?
Can I just, I'm leaning in the doorframe, I imagine.
Yeah.
And I'm just like... He's a piece of filth is what he is.
Then this man will not have the staff.
No, we don't intend him to have it, but we also like our, living state of being and also freedom.
I understand. Perhaps I could give you a very powerful friend if you worship the sun. Someone whom you wish to see.
Oh, I think I might be way ahead of your plans, but do tell.
A long time ago.
I settle in for story time. I sit on a couch or floor and fold my legs up.
That is fine. Around the beginning of what we call the Third Age, a great fire tore across a city, a small city, once known as Quatri. This fire, it killed hundreds. It was relentless. It killed many people, but the fire had no source. Most of the buildings here were built of sandstone, or stone, or unflammable materials. We were simple folk, yet all that happened was relentless flames. They burned and left charred corpses. Buildings were practically melted. This happened for days and days, and it was strongest in the temples of our patron Lord of the Sun, Helios. We survivors from this time are few, but I am one of them. I witnessed everyone I thought I ever knew die. I lost my family to the greater extent. We owned the Church of Helios. You see before you an empty ruin now. This happened for 4 days and 4 nights. Uncorruptible fires. All I ever heard when I slept was screaming, and the comfort of my Lord Helios was no longer there. It wasn't until the area arrived, a few days later. They helped the survivors, but as they moved us out, we walked across the many dead bodies of our families. But I know what happened. A maiden's voice told me something. I don't know where she came from. It was as if the sun itself spoke to me. She told me Helios had lost control of his power. That the god of the sun had attempted evil things, but I did not believe her. It was not right. The Genii Defora had been sealed using a powerful weapon, a staff created by the divine, blood from every creature you can name, was poured into making an item to seal a beast more powerful than anything ever seen before. Gods died during the battle, and Helios was the one who brought them back and restored them to the divine plane. But Helios was not evil. My family has worshipped him for a long time, and this voice, this maiden, I know who she is. She is the Genii Defora. I know she is. Her twisted lies, I hear them every time I go out into the sun. Her emblem shines. It bothers me. At this point, he kind of looks towards the doorframe, and there is currently the man, the Baleskin. He's currently carrying what is the very hot iron kettle in just his hands. And you see the steam coming out the top, and he kind of stops talking as he looks towards him. He's trying to get past you, by the way, Tia. That's why I went inside.
I figured I wasn't sitting in the doorframe.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you sat down, didn't you? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
So he kind of walks through, and he brings a cup. It's like a, it's very strange. It's like a, I'm trying to think of the word, like a fired clay cup, if you know what I mean. It's not fancy. And he pours out some tea for you, Chim.
Nice.
And it does seem to have some kind of milk in it. So they do their grocery shopping. Anyway, the old man now looks tired and weary, and the son kind of comes closer to him. If you do not mind, Father, I will take over from here. I do not want you to lose your rest. You may return to your upper quarters, Father. These people, they do not need to hear your ramblings, Father.
Can I... Tia just... Oh, by the way, Tia is like wide-eyed in intrigue because they know exactly what this is about, or at least they think they do. Tia pipes up at this point and is like, "Oh, before you leave, could I ask some questions?
Yes, you may ask your questions away.
The one that you speak of,
What?
who is she?
I do not know. Her voice is strange, as if she's not of divine origin. She speaks common, not celestial. This, who I call Genai Defora, is evil. You see him kind of coughing into his hand.
What sort of evil? Fiendish, fey?
There is no necessary type. Genai Defora was built off of the blood of all beings, be it mortal or immortal. The devils and demons were included in that.
And you say somehow she channels power through the sun.
No, she removed Helios, his guiding light, and now he speaks in whispers from shadows, and he was not ever killed, he was just left to die by this beast. You must go, father, at this point. He kind of shuffles his father off. And he begins to walk back up the stairs. I must apologize for my father's actions. He does not know what he speaks of. I'm afraid he's gone senile in his old age, but we do know the item you seek. We do know what you speak of. Before the Solus walks upstairs, this is the older man, he kind of turns around and you would notice this Jimmy kind of gives a smile to you all before he walks up the stairs.
Oh.
My father seems to believe that this voice he hears is that of a great evil. I'm sure he told you about just then. But he also speaks of dangerous things, such as rebuilding the divine worshippers, the divine plane here in our mortal coil. He talks about plans to scourge the hells and reclaim it. But
I say loud enough so that hopefully the dad can hear going up the stairs, and say, I don't think your old man is senile.
Oh,
I think he speaks some of the truth.
I agree. Also kind of a little bit loud.
Don't discount his words so easily.
I respect my father more than I think many people understand. However, the things he speaks of I do not know. I too have a strong connection to Helios. I feel the whispers he talks of. I hear them, and I hear his will. If you
Tears.
look,
Tia's eyes are just like flicking left and right because like should they also tell about trying to pass off as a Helios worshipper here?
our great lord Helios, he no longer speaks from the sky but from the grounds, and that is where you will find the staff you look for. He sealed it while fighting this beast. It seems maybe they didn't manage to kill the beast or seal it. Maybe it's trapped in the plane with them, and that's why Helios has passed.
But if Helios is sort of, well, dead and gone, then who controls the sun?
We believe that the sun is now cursed with the power of this evil creature. My father wears bandages and lives in the darkness to avoid it. He says he hears her trying to speak to him and reason, and it drove him to madness, I believe. He believes that the town burning was not Helios's fault, even though he should be casting his eye over us carefully. I can tell you where the staff is if you seek it. I can guide you there.
Could you perhaps could you point it out on a map?
There is no need. The staff you search for is close to you.
Tia looks around the room.
The staff you seek is hidden under the church.
Oh, well, that's...
There was a network of tunnels created long ago by worshippers of Helios in case of danger. It's where most of the survivors hid during the Great Flames. Not many people survived, but those of Helios who knew of the tunnels did. And it was during these times that one of the temples collapsed, and in the rubble of the temple was the staff. Or at least a fragment of it anyway. We hid it down in these catacombs a long time ago, and let's just say those who go in there don't return. So if you
Can I
wish...
make an insight check?
Yes, you can.
Just because, like, we're complete strangers and there's this powerful thing, and hey guys, it's under our floorboards. 16.
There's this genuine, like, just looking at him, there's no readable emotion. If there was, you'd be
God
seeing
damn
it. There is something off-putting about him, almost as if... In fact, no, make me a religion check. Pav and Chim.
Okay.
Not me.
No.
Okay, cool.
Alright.
Religion is on. Ooh, hang on a sec.
I'm
Okay.
moving up in the world.
2.
So 13 and 2.
It was on intelligence.
So what you kind of see is this is Bichim. Pav, you don't notice. You're kind of bored. What you'd see as he's talking is there's this slight, almost flicker to what he says that isn't quite natural. And you don't know in what way it's unnatural, but it's just not right. There's something off-putting. Right, and like you notice it specifically because you recognize it, but again, like Tia can't see the magic, you don't recognize where you recognize it from. If that makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah.
Religion.
What it is something which I believe the staff is. I will show you there, and I will go no further. I would not recommend doing it right now. However, if you do wish to do it, I will take you this evening.
Yeah, what time is it right now?
About 2 in the afternoon.
Alright, I think Tia's gonna stand up and kinda... I have something quite urgent that I need to take care of. I will regroup with the rest of you later. And Tia leaves.
Okay. You go through the door and
Okay.
you're out.
Yeah.
She may...
Before she leaves, can I shout, "How later?"
Tia's just left. Tia's just gone.
Nothing. Okay.
You don't get a reply.
Okay.
I don't blame your friend. If she does support Helios, then she perhaps knows of the struggles we're in and may need to clear her mind. If you would not mind, I will quickly tell you, the staff you're looking for is only a part of, well, if Genii Defora does exist, then it's the only way to seal the beast. If it doesn't, if it is sealed within the device, then it is a way to summon it in our plane. This is a very dangerous creature, I assure you. A fragment of its power can do wondrous things, miracles even.
Okay.
So we really don't want to hand this
Know
over.
that we truly don't intend for it to go to this man. His hands are not ones that should be given such power.
I thank you for that much. If you would like, if you meet me outside of my temple to Helios, then I will show you the way into the catacombs from there.
I think that's our next step once Tia has returned.
Very
This isn't
well.
something we can do without her.
I will go and see my father. You may wait here if you wish. If you would like to read, there are books on the shelf. If you would like to speak, then we will not be disturbed. I would advise you not to break anything. It wouldn't go down very well with my father. This is a relic of a house from a long time ago. Thank you very much for being polite guests. If you would like a drink, let me know and I will come down and make you one. Thank you.
Thank you for being so welcoming.
I sent you a private message of what Tia is doing.
Ooh, fancy.
Thank
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. All right. So, how long are you gonna try that for?
Probably like at least an hour.
Okay. So,
Using like whatever stuff I have with me.
yeah, that's fine. So about an hour later, you've all been waiting. If any of you wanted drinks, he's come down and made you drinks. I don't know if you have or not, but he's been very
I'm just
polite.
flicking through the books.
Yeah, they're mainly religious books about Helios. One's about the history of the city-states of Arendar, this continent, and it talks through how there's been loads of wars, and it's only recently kind of become stable, with 4 major factions being... let me just get this thing up real quick. There are 4 major factions as you kind of flick through. They speak of the Quatri, the Arii, the Sparitae, and the those of Affinetta as well.
Okay.
Make an intelligence check, Athena.
Okay. Yeah, Tina is not very intelligent. However, that's a 15.
You're kind of thinking for a second, and as you kind of see them next to each other on the page, you recognize that Quatri and Arii almost make the name of the city, Quatarii. And you start to think maybe that there's some kind of link there between possibly why that's as it is. The old man talked of in the fire after those being the people to kind of come in and help. So it's about an hour passes, and you guys do various different things. And Tia, you have returned after your attempt.
Do I get any word from you whether or not the thing was...
Do you mind if I say it, or do you want me to type it? Because I haven't...
Just type it,
Just
please.
type it? Okay.
Yes.
God. It's
Sneaks.
gonna be a lot.
Someone plug our YouTube channel while the DM is typing.
So, all of these episodes, with regularly good timing, are on YouTube. Give them a listen. So
And
good.
if you're watching on YouTube, then
Well done.
cool.
Congratulations.
Good. Thank
the
you.
Twitch.
I guess.
You can use the internet.
Hurry up
You
and I'll send you a picture of my cat. They're a great cat.
if you're
Or
watching
likes and
this on
everything.
YouTube, refresh the page now to like watch this on YouTube in media res.
And give us more
And
views.
reevaluate your life choices.
Yeah. How did you even find us?
How did you find us?
Do your
Leave us a
homework.
comment. If you're watching us to procrastinate stuff you should be doing, hit that like button.
It's good to go in for early entry for uni, even if you're not planning on going for anything that needs early entry, so you can get it out the way.
But also, if you feel like dropping out of school, that's cool too.
Also, you always need half as much rice as you think you need.
And twice as much water, not for the rice, but for yourself, for your body. Stay hydrated.
Eat flour. carbohydrates are good.
Eat flour and
I don't know if flour is a carbohydrate, but
Well,
you know.
I'll send you
That's
that
what we got
much.
Google for.
I'll send you that much, and then
Hey, you're
okay.
a procrastinator, Mr. YouTube viewer.
Okay.
You can look up if flour is a
Yeah, I'm
carbohydrate.
gonna-
Flour is a
DM
carbohydrate.
DM, we're gonna have to
Fascinating.
talk after the session because I need some answers.
that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Uh,
Alright.
So Tia arrives, and it's about an hour. So do you guys just want to skip over to the next 2 hours then as well? I assume.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Don't eat flour.
Gets a really long lecture about telling your mother when
Wait.
you're going to be home. Is it before tea time? Is it before bedtime? Is
Who's-
it before going deep down in a cave?
And I look down at Jim and I'm like, what?
I'm waggling my finger at her.
The waggling is intense.
Can I just like flash my teeth a little bit?
Yeah, you can do that. Make an intimidation check.
Smile or like a growl?
No, angry.
Oh, Tim does the same back.
Okay. Both make an intimidation check.
14
Shit.
total.
Oh, and your intimidation is good as well. I heard a roll.
Heard a
Yeah.
roll too?
I said 14.
Oh,
Oh,
contested, exactly.
it is about how it sounds. Tia's pretty intimidating, but Chim is surprisingly intimidating, and it's kind of the staring each other in the eye, glaring their teeth. And this happens for an extended period of time because you got a contested roll until one of you decides that it's not worth it.
Probably not me. He is too proud.
Tim ends it in like a dazzling smile and then whacks her on the knees. And then walks out.
That happens.
Tia just goes from like angry to like, what? Just got slapped on the knee and like, huh?
Ab just picks Chim up and takes it back over to the sofa.
So anyway, I look at everyone. Were we getting the thingy?
I
I kinda
believe we were going to meet the boy.
Is he not there? Are we not in the house?
You are in
We
the
are
house,
in the
but you went
house.
upstairs.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Speaking of which, so as kind of 2 hours passes, and after this initial glaring contest, the boy begins to walk down the stairs.
I like that no one asked me what happened.
Yeah, the chill one. The boy walks down the stairs and he enters into the main room. It's about 5 now, but he enters. Greetings. I can now take you if you would like. My father has told me more, and I should be able to guide you. If you do not mind, he will come with us.
That would be wonderful.
Very well.
Alright.
You kind of see as Solus begins to walk down the stairs, and he's now at the door with these bandages, and he's wearing this big, heavy cloak. He's got like I don't know what you call them, but like over the mouth mask things. He's basically hiding his body from the sun.
Yeah.
Basically.
Can I just? I turn to Solus and I ask, probably as we're walking, unless they're doing anything else before we
No.
leave.
Basically, you guys leave the house and
Yeah.
the door is locked.
Yeah. So as we're walking, I just want to turn to him and be like, "Your name reminds me of something. Where are you named after someone in particular, or?"
I am not named after anyone, child. I was named by people who follow Helios, and this is a name used for children of Helios.
Weird. It reminds me of something different. Can I do an insight check on that?
Yeah.
My insight Oh, that's a natural 20.
So
21
you see,
total.
You see into the world. You see all the binary code that is the word files
Yeah.
that make up the D&D sessions.
Ooh.
And you see that when he speaks, he's speaking the entire truth.
Fuck. I waste my good rolls.
All right. So you guys are led into the temple, just outside the front of the terrace house is the alleyway bit, and the statue, which is there, is kind of in this pose. It's got a shield and his hand is towards the sky, almost like it's holding a globe of some sort. You see as the kind of older gentleman kneels in front of it, places his hand onto it, and then these hidden scriptures glow with this kind of black-blue light. It's some kind of ancient celestial magic. It's very powerful. It's divine script. And as he kind of places his hand upon the statue, it begins to creak, and the arm stutters and begins to move, and then points to the right, and one of the stones of the temple slides across. And you can't see it from the outside. There's no way this can physically be there, but there's a staircase going down as the statue is pointing towards the right.
Alright.
This is the open door towards the catacombs of Helios. It's private, so I would ask that you keep this quiet. Only my father can open it, and that's why he has come along with us. If you would not mind, we can enter now.
Yes.
I look at everyone else.
Let's do
Are
this.
we all here?
Yeah, I think all of us there are there.
Yes, you are.
Then let's go for it.
Yeah, I am waiting for someone else to go first.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk straight in.
All right, Athena's
Yeah, I'll
first.
follow Athena.
We will note that down for next session, because that is the end of the session. That's me hitting on the desk.
Ooh, cave time.
Wow, plot. All
Hey.
that plot I had to dump. Yay.
Hey! What? DM.
Hey,
Oh, the thing is,
So
Hey.
many. No, I know. This is me calling you out and being like, hey, what the fuck?
It's
that
fine.
was really good. I love the speeches.
Yeah,
it's
I love
really
it.
good.
I love it.
So,
I was sitting here like, fuck, that's cool. Fuck, I love this.
Oh,
so
there's
good.
loads of lore. Loads of lore. I'm glad I'm getting to use it now. So,
all the lore.
Yeah, and not just fruit shopping.
yes, and not just food shopping. So, thank you very much if you watch this on YouTube. Thank you very much, Patrick, if you watch the stream, because you watch the streams a lot. Yeah, so this has been me, your DM, and these guys, your amazing players. Thank you very much, guys.
Aw.
Hey.
Thank you.
So, people watching on YouTube, if you made it this far, remember to throw those tables. This is the Table Throw Show signing off.